Yo, Rocco B, Scotty G, Highly Explicit NFL Podcast. We're back. Episode 38, baby. The fucking off-season. What off-season? Forget about it. There ain't no off-season. I'm Rocco B, and I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. And from the back seat of his Nissan Altima in Orange County, California, my boy Scotty G.
Bud, I drive a Jeep Cherokee these days, just so you know. But how you doing?
There it is. Man, I've missed that. Oh, it's been a long time. Long time. We've been gone since the AFC and NFC championship games, buddy. Bengals pulled it off against the Chiefs and the fucking Rams.
I can't believe that. By the way, I can't believe the Bengals even went to the Super Bowl. Let's just leave it there for that.
I don't know. I think that the whole phrase "what I tell you" is going to come up a lot in this episode. But the Bengals went to the Super Bowl against the Los Angeles Rams. And the L.A. Rams took out the surging fucking San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship, finally getting that monkey off their back. And then they get to the Super Bowl, and a couple calls here, a couple calls there. And you got the L.A. Rams at home for the second year in a row, winning the Super Bowl at the home stadium. And the NFL couldn't have been happier getting the fucking Los Angeles Rams a victory for the whole city of L.A.
Hey, Rock, did I ever mention that the NFL corporate offices have been trying to move to Los Angeles? Have I ever mentioned that?
No, I wouldn't have imagined that. No way. No.
Yeah, you couldn't tell by some of the calls. I would say.
God.
I do think Cincinnati was a little over their heads in that fucking ball game, though. I don't think they should have been there. I think they got a lot of lucky calls even just to get there, and they got a lot of lucky breaks just to get there. So you deserve to tell me what I tell you, but they still couldn't finish it off, and I think the right winner kind of prevailed there, whether if it was fixed or not.
I'm with you, but here's the thing. I mean, we all knew since he didn't have an offensive line, that showed up in the Super Bowl big time. But you're going to tell me that some of those calls that, especially during the fourth quarter, last drive of the game, LA's trying to get in, I don't know. So, WWE, NFL, whatever you want to call it, the LA Rams are the champs. And in Cincinnati, though, they're going to get their asses back to the Super Bowl with the way that they're treating this offseason.
Which, by the way, real quick, I know Dr. Tomas isn't going to join us today. He's going to join us next episode, so stay tuned for that. But Dr. Tomas made a nice point that apparently WrestleMania was fucking incredible this year, just so you know.
Yeah, it was incredible.
For those Wrestle fans.
It was in the second it was the second Sunday of February this year. That's what it was. It was the second Sunday in L.A. on a football field. But, okay, here we go. We've been gone for a while. It's been about 2 months. But before we get in to this wacky and fucking wild offseason in the NFL we've had so far, with so many things going on, we have to talk about one guy and one guy only. Tommy fucking Brady, TB12.
Oh, my God.
Scotty,
this guy won't fucking go away.
I got text messages from you. I got text messages from Dr. Tomas. I got Dr. fucking Tomas and Big Balls MP telling me, hey, read it and weep. It's all over. He's done. He's gone. That last touchdown pass you just saw on Mike Evans.
I never said, hey, time out. I never said that he wasn't coming back. I didn't say that wasn't possible. Come on. I just said, I was with you. I said his dad said he wasn't done. I said I didn't think he was done. But, I mean, it was what it was. I mean, I just wish the fucking guy would retire. Will you fucking retire already, Tom Brady? Leave us the fuck alone.
The last one ever you're going to see. Oh, my God, you better go buy that football because it's the last one TB12's going to fucking throw.
Yeah, this jerk-off better buy that football back. That poor guy paid like $500,000 for that fucking football. And it don't mean shit now. That football's fucking, it's worth fucking dog shit.
It's worth nothing. And how many Tom Brady retirement gifts did he get from everybody around that he's got to probably return now? But here's what I did.
He ain't going to return shit. He's going to go on retirement tour this year.
From the very beginning, I channeled my inner Winston Wolf. And I said, fellas, let's not go start sucking each other's dicks just yet. I know Tommy B. I know TB12. And there's no fucking way that he's going out like this. I won't believe it till I see the first snap of the 2022 season. And he's not in his pads running out of the fucking tunnel yelling, let's fucking go.
Can we break this down real quick? I don't mean to interrupt you on your whole Tom Brady rant. I know you fucking love this guy. You want to suck this guy off every second you can. But let's break this down real quick. Did you hear some of the theories out there and some of the rumors out there of what was going on? There was supposedly this guy was trying to fucking make his way to Miami. And apparently, and I don't know what's true. Nobody knows what's true. There's rumors that Sean Payton was going to meet him there. That's why they wanted Brian Flores out. There's rumors that he was going to get a stake in the team. I mean, all kinds of shit started flowing out. Yeah, have you heard all this? Are you aware?
Yeah, the Miami
Are you
Dolphins,
in the mix?
You know, am I in the mix? The Miami Dolphins were the biggest name. You know, it's in Florida. You know, he's been in Tampa. It's him and B.A. Bruce Arians are all BS
Dude,
now.
you don't think he would love to go kick the shit out of Belichick twice a year?
Yeah, but here's the thing. You got to think of the family life. You got to think of the life outside of the game.
Yeah,
There's
Miami's
no
a commute from
way.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but
Miami's a commute.
He's not changing teams. He's about legacy. He's about, you know, doing the right thing. He always took less money with New England. He always made the cap better for the whole fucking team. There was no fucking way he's leaving. What he did is he ended up getting, I think, Arians out of there, because I do believe that
100%.
where there is smoke, there's fire. And I believe that Bruce Arians and Tommy B didn't fucking mesh well. And I think that, you know, Bruce Arians kind of felt like, well, they're going to fire me because Tommy B's running this fucking team. And Tommy probably said to Jason Light, the GM, and the Glazer family, the fucking owners, and said, listen, if I come back, this is how it's going to be. Bada boom, bada bing. After 40 days being out, he comes back.
Anyone who thinks those two things aren't related, this guy literally stepped down. First off, for those who don't know NFL offseason, this is late in the offseason for a coaching change. This is fucking late. So for this guy to step down and let Todd Bowles, who has a completely different mindset of how to run a team, I'm not saying he's going to do a bad job, but he's very different than Bruce Arians, to step down at this point and then just take a front office job, get the fuck out of here. There is no way you can have that occur and then the next day, TB12, oh, I'm coming back, by the way. Did I mention that? You fucking jerk off. He literally made that call and said, look, get this fucking guy out of here. They knew they had to pay the guy because that's the fucking guaranteed contract for these coaches. And they said, look, we'll put you upstairs on the other side of the fucking building so you don't have to deal with Tommy. So you just make it sound like you did a great thing for your buddy Todd, you know, an African-American coach. Look, I'm happy for Todd. And it does
They picked
look
the
good.
wrong guy. They picked the wrong guy.
It's all peaches and cream from the outside. But I'm just saying,
Listen,
he clearly got pushed upstairs. He got pushed to the other side of the building.
We got pushed upstairs by TB12 because
They
didn't
didn't get the wrong guy, though. They didn't get the wrong guy,
It should be Byron Leftwich. That's who it should be. Byron Leftwich should be the coach. Bowles is not a head coach. We've seen it.
You know why it shouldn't be Byron Leftwich? Because if Byron Leftwich was the coach, he would run the offense. Do you know who's going to run the offense now? Tom Brady. Tom Brady's going to run that fucking team.
Yeah,
I know Byron Leftwich is the offensive coordinator.
Here's why, Scotty. This is why you needed Byron Leftwich to be the coach. Because you don't want to lose Byron Leftwich. You can potentially lose Byron Leftwich as an offensive coordinator next year to a head coaching job for another team. Who gives a fuck if you lose Todd Bowles? Todd Bowles, you know, is replaceable.
Byron he's a good defensive coordinator, but I get you. They're not as sought after as these offensive coordinators.
Offensive coordinators, you're going to lose this guy if you don't make him the head coach. So I don't like what they did there, but everybody should know it's fucking transparent. Bruce Arians 2 days earlier was saying we're going to get Watson. We're going to get we're going all in.
Yeah, I know.
Give me a break. So that we all know that TB
and
made
Todd Bowles has experience. Let's not forget that because it is late in the season for off season. Yeah. If you throw a new rookie head coach in there who's never done it before, it's gonna be a little harder for him to adjust on the fly.
Yeah,
Todd Bowles has done it before. He sucked as New York Jets coach. I'm telling you right now.
I get it. He sucked and he blew the fucking game against the Rams. I'm sorry. That call at the end with Cup going over the top. Todd Bowles blew that game.
Oh yeah, don't. I forgot about that.
All right, so they picked the wrong guy. Should be Leftwich. But again, what I tell you, Tom Brady,
all upset back. He ruined your boy's legacy.
He ruined it. You know, I mean, come on. Leftwich should be the guy. You don't want to lose him, and Bowles blew it against L.A. Now, speaking of what I tell you,
oh man,
another guy, polarizing figure, quarterback, Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, Raj. Where is he going this year? Wasn't he supposed to go to Vegas, or wasn't he supposed to go to
his
Denver?
Boy went there, but I thought he was going to follow his boy. I don't know.
His boy said, fuck this guy. His boy Devontae, which we'll get into later, said, fuck this guy. I can't stand his fucking dramatic ass anymore. I got to go with my boy Carr in Vegas where we played Fresno State, me and him back together. Rodgers stayed in Green Bay. I said it for months.
This is the most disappointing part of the offseason. I thought for sure Rodgers was gone, and I thought for sure he would change some kind of team's legacy, and instead, He's going to stay in Green Bay, and he's got about half the fucking weapons that he had 2 months ago.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I can't imagine Green Bay being that great, so we'll see what happens.
The story, I can't believe it, Scotty, but the story is that he knew when he got, the $50 million basically guaranteed by Green Bay this season. The story is that he knew he was coming back without Davante Adams. Can you believe that? So if you believe that he knew that they were going to ship Adams off, tell me that how the fuck can you say money wasn't the number one thing on Rodgers' mind the whole time?
I can't. It could be comfortability. It could be he an ego thing where he doesn't think he needs Adams. But realistically, anyone who watched those playoffs and watched multiple games this year, part of the reason of their failures was because this guy couldn't throw to anyone but Adams.
It's money,
and it's not that he couldn't throw to anybody else. He's completely capable of throwing to
he doesn't
Lazard
trust anybody else.
Cobb and all these other motherfuckers. He only throws to Davante Adams.
Yes.
Literally, the guy's got 4 people on him, and he's still throwing the fucking ball to him. I don't understand it. So
it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I don't know.
So
I can't disagree with you. I'm really kind of like I said, I'm upset. Green Bay is not going in the right direction, and fucking Rodgers decided to stay on for this shit. I don't get it.
I can't wait. For the next episode, we're gonna start getting into the draft. I can't believe it's been a year since we started this whole shit up, and we've been talking about the draft, and that's how we started. But Green Bay needs a lot of help, and they got a lot of draft picks now, but they need a lot of help, especially at receiver. We'll talk about that next episode. But to me, Aaron Rodgers is the biggest piece of shit in the NFL. He's a liar, and he will come out and he will tell you that it's not about money. It's not about the highest contract in the league. It's not about this. It's not about that. How the fuck do you come back to a team knowing that the all-pro of all pro receivers is going to go, and you're going to come back still to the Packers when everybody thought you're leaving? Why'd you come back? Oh, that's right. He's making the most money in fucking history of the league.
He's immunized, whatever the fuck that word is.
Immunized. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what. He's not immunized from fucking, having the biggest bankroll in the fucking league. He's a piece of shit.
His girl, you see, by the way, not to get into the drama, but you see his girl left him, and she said because, I realize we really have nothing in common, and we really couldn't talk through things. It's like
he broke up. He broke up with another broad.
No, she broke up with him. The girl he was engaged to.
Oh my God, I didn't hear that.
I don't know if she broke with him or he broke with, I think there was like a mutual thing, or she broke with him. I don't know. But it was when they asked her about it, she said that it was because they had no mutual interest. They were like they had nothing in common. It was the girl that I forget the girl's name. She's someone famous. I forget who she is. But she's like half his fucking age, and they were like jumping off, like cliff diving and all this bullshit.
Woodley or something
they were
like that.
They were on these fucking vacations and shit, looking all having a good time. He's like doing his hippie thing, and it's like then she's like, oh, you know what? I realized we have nothing in common, and we couldn't talk through anything, and blah blah blah. So they broke off the engagement.
And he sucks. He's always the 1 seed and never gets to the Super Bowl. We're done.
All I know is Olivia Munn made some comments that one of the guys she dated preferred the opposite sex, and who knows? Maybe Aaron Rodgers maybe he's got a preference.
There's anything wrong with that. Okay, let's just put that out there.
I'm completely okay with that, but come on, be yourself, Aaron.
Or
just come out.
Maybe could there be a chance that I don't know, maybe the past 2 legendary Green Bay Packer quarterbacks maybe are a little short in the shorts. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You remember Brett Favre? I
thought Brett Favre was
packing? No.
Yeah.
No. He wasn't Green Bay packing. That's ask what's her name.
He was the Mr. Masseuse before Mr. Masseuse.
Yeah, Jen Sturger. Good thing they had those small fucking flip phones back then. All right, now let's get to some crazy shit. We never got into the Brian Flores issue, the suing of the NFL.
Yeah, this is a serious issue, man. This is crazy stuff, man. And they redid the Rooney Rule partly because of this.
Don't get I'll let you me started. Just Scotty,
let's not go there.
Let's just stay on the up and up here. I don't want to get into the Rooney Rule, but you gotta believe that Stephen Ross did this shit, right? You gotta believe that they were tanking. You remember how bad Miami was in the first half of that season.
It didn't make sense because they had such a good team. on paper. It didn't make sense to me. So I kind of believe Brian Flores. I don't doubt it. The only thing I think is bullshit about this whole thing, because I think Brian Flores is a legit dude. I just think Hugh Jackman's a fucking liar.
Hugh Jackman, I believe was
Yeah,
Wolverine. But who are we talking
Oh,
about
Jackson.
now?
Sorry.
Yes, okay.
I knew it was one of the motherfuckers.
Was it
I couldn't
Spider-Man
remember if
or
it was Jackman
Wolverine or who are we talking about?
Oh, he's sorry.
Hugh Jackson.
They got the same fucking name. There's like 2 syllables different. You fucking asshole.
All right. Don't get the claws out here, buddy. Just let's go back to it.
Anyway, Hugh Jackson.
Yes.
I think he's full of shit. I think he just sucked as a coach.
Oh, he's awful. He's terrible.
So he jumped on, and then recently Steve Wilkes jumped on. Now I think he's a legitimate case.
Yeah, me too.
Me and you talked about this years ago. We're like, dude, I don't know how this guy got fired. He didn't do shit wrong. The team wasn't that bad.
I'm with you.
Like that was bullshit. Steve Wilkes is a legitimate case,
Yeah.
and I think Brian Flores is a hell of a coach. And fucking Bill Belichick really fucked this up for everybody by texting homie and saying that, hey, yo.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
He goes to text his boy and he texts the wrong boy. How do you text the wrong fucking dude? Brian Dable to Brian Flores?
Yeah, that's that's what I'm saying. It's just so weird. Like, how can he fuck up like that? I don't know. It's fishy to me. But
are you saying you don't think it's real?
No. I'm saying I wonder what Belichick's motive was. Because I just can't imagine him fucking that up. Here's the thing. I believe that it's amazing that now Flores is back in the league, and it's going to make it really fucking awkward for both sides, for the next year or two.
Where's Flores at again, by the way?
Flores is with Pittsburgh now. So
I like that, man. I like Brian Flores. He's a hell of a coach.
So
I
do
love Mike Tomlin.
And Tomlin's a fucking smart son of a bitch for bringing him in.
Mike Tomlin's my favorite coach in the NFL.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about
Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh, my 2 favorite guys.
John Harbaugh's a fucking man. We're going to talk about Tomlin and his Pittsburgh Steelers in the next episode, of course, with the draft, because they got a big draft coming up. But yeah, Flores deserves to be a coach, but I would say in the other side. Get on the other side right now.
Whole new ball game.
I'm not going to be, very fucking PC with this right now, but I think he could have made a huge mistake as far as his own career. I wonder if there was another way to go about it.
2022, man, you got to be outspoken. You got to put it out there. I don't think so. And he already got a job. People are gonna respect. But there's too much social pressure on him as an African American coach to not get another opportunity.
He's like
too much pressure on it now.
He's like a defensive intern almost right now. Like he was the fucking head coach of the Miami Dolphins.
I get it, and I think the Giants made a stupid move. I mean, I like Brian Dable, but honestly, he's made a lot of fucking bonehead moves as the Buffalo.
I don't want to
OC.
believe because I am not a racist. I don't want to believe that the league is that racist. But the shit that has happened in the past couple years, I don't think Bieniemy from Kansas City is ready to be a coach. I've heard a lot about him.
Yeah,
he's not
I
mature.
agree with you on that. I've heard a lot of bad things about Bieniemy.
How the fuck doesn't some team, especially like you just said, the New York Giants, this guy is from Brooklyn. Brian Dable has never been a head coach in the league. He's never been a head coach anywhere. How the fuck did they hire him over Brian Flores? I don't understand.
Because I'm going to break it down real quick for you, and then I want to move on because I want to get stuck on this because this is some higher shit we shouldn't even be talking about. But here's my point of view on it. I agree with you. I don't want to believe it. I think there's a level of racism that exists in the NFL, but I think it comes from a place of ignorance. I don't think it comes from a place of hate. I don't think these owners and higher officials are like, man, we hate African Americans, we hate black people, we hate women, I don't think that. But I think they're not comfortable because these rich billionaires, they're older people. That's not a lot of the circles. These same diverse people are not in their circles, so they're not comfortable with making having these people around, and that is ignorant, and that's racist. Like you're judging someone by the color of their skin, or judging someone by their sexual orientation or whatever.
They're not like doing it on purpose.
No, I think. It's ignorant, but it still doesn't make it right. Yeah. You know what I mean? It doesn't excuse it. But I don't think the intentions are there because these people, they're older white men. They honestly, what needs to occur? They need to get some diverse owners in the NFL.
Yeah,
that's
but
what they really need to do.
Here's the thing, Scotty, and I don't want to get into this, but I have to right now because it's on the top of my head. This Rooney Rule, here's the fucking problem. I believe that they're going to have, whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, I don't know, but I think they're going to have just as many fucking women head coaches than they would African-American coaches. Isn't that nuts? Like
no, it's not, because what's
me,
wrong with having the opposite sex as a coach? I'm telling you,
don't
go down this road.
Don't want to go down that road.
Down this road.
But what I'm saying is that you can't just do it just to do it, right? They have to still be the best. You have to still be the best at the position. You're going to tell me that a woman coming in that's only been in the league for a couple years, because there's only been women coaches in the past couple years, is better than a guy like Brian Flores, or is better than a guy, say, like Byron Leftwich? Give me a fucking break. It's not possible.
But
yet they're going to push the women because it's the new it thing. And that I don't understand. I don't agree with. We better get off topic because I'm going to go nuts.
Yeah, I'm just saying, what I'm saying with you is I get where you're coming from to be the old school mindset, but it's a similar concept. It's a slightly ignorant statement, because it's like you gotta take a step back, and they're trying to give people the opportunity. I agree with you. Right now, there's probably no female that has more credentials than a male in this sport, because they don't play this sport. They've never. But at the same time, that's kind of redundant as well, because there's NBA coaches and NFL assistant coaches and all these things that have also never played the sport that are successful. I mean, doesn't Tampa Bay have like 2 or 3 female coaches?
What do you think you want to talk about next? Because I don't know if I want to go down this route, but we do have to talk about an unbelievably sad and puzzling case here of Dwayne Haskins. Speaking of the Pittsburgh Steelers with Mike Tomlin and their draft, Dwayne Haskins is dead at age 24. He gets
turned 25 in May, I think.
Hit by a fucking dump truck in the state of Florida at 6:30 in the morning on an interstate highway. I don't want to talk about his career. That doesn't fucking matter at this point. But I do want to try in the next couple weeks to figure out. I know he was there with Claypool. I know he was there with Trubisky. I know he was there with Najee. They were training in the offseason. I get that.
Yep.
What the fuck is he doing on an interstate highway?
By the way, I heard it was at 6:30
in the morning.
-ish.
What the fuck is he on crossing an interstate highway as Dwayne Haskins, the NFL quarterback, training as a Pittsburgh Steeler in Florida? What's he doing crossing a highway in the interstate? That's what I want to try to figure out, because how the fuck is that possible? And then on top of that, being there, how do you get hit by a dump truck? I gotta figure that out, because to me, I'm like, my inner fucking Columbo is coming out and trying to figure out this doesn't smell right.
No, I mean, look, it's a fucking tragedy. This guy died at 24 years old and about to be 25. I mean, it's a tragedy if anyone dies before their time unexpectedly. But the fact of the matter is, and what a lot of people won't say, is this guy's done a lot of dumb shit in his life. And I'm not saying this was one of them. I'm not saying he did anything wrong in this situation. But I do have a hesitation before I want to hear what happened, because to me it doesn't make sense. And it's like the same guy that's had so many weird little, with the Vegas domestic violence calling on his wife. And, I don't know. There's just, a lot of random things. People saying he's this way or that way. And I'm not saying he's a bad guy at all. I'm not saying he did the wrong thing. But I'm just curious if he was, either intoxicated or if he, I don't know, had something else going on. But, I am interested to hear what else occurred. At the end of the day, it's a tragedy. You wish nothing like this on anybody, but I don't know.
I had read something.
It's strange, dude.
And again, you know me with social media, but I read a little article about something about he posted a couple hours before that a story on Instagram with the text, basically saying it is what it is type of thing. And I don't know what the hell that meant. So people are looking into that now.
Could be nothing, though.
Exactly. I mean, it could be nothing, but it also could be something. How do you get hit by a dump truck at 6:30 in the morning as a 24-year-old athlete? I just don't know. So, there's, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
It
I'll
smells
hold my
weird.
opinion until
Smells weird.
I hear more information.
Yeah.
But I am a little bit curious to
Yeah.
hear the information based on his past.
Me
Let's
too.
just say that.
Me too. But Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace, 24 years old, first round pick
R.I.P,
from
brother.
from the Washington football team a couple years ago. Unbelievable. And fun fact, he was the guy that actually beat out my boy Joey Burrow at Ohio State for the quarterback job about 4 or 5 years ago. So unbelievable. So we'll get
I mean,
you the latest.
he was a phenomenal college athlete. Let's say that.
Absolutely, and we'll get to the latest with that. Let's turn it a little lighter now. I don't know if you heard about this diet that apparently my boy DK Metcalf said on the Kevin Garnett podcast that he said.
Oh,
that
your boy. He's your boy now, huh?
I loved him out of the draft, and I think he's a fucking stud. And just imagine, Ole Miss had him and A.J. Brown at the same time. Holy shit. But, DK Metcalf, he said his diet, this guy's fucking 220, shredded, probably 4% body fat and faster than shit. He said that he eats one meal a day. He has coffee in the morning, and then he has 3 or 4 bags of candy. Now, if you want me to believe that bullshit,
I don't believe it.
then I'm going to be honest with you, then it's pretty fucking stupid. But I believe this story is bullshit. There's no fucking way that's what this guy eats. But he's got a ton of people talking about it, a ton of people falling for this shit. But I will
why would he say this dumb shit? There's no way.
DK, if this is the thing, which I completely doubt it is, but if it is, and everyone wants to say, oh my God, look how good he is eating that shit. Just imagine if you ate right. Just imagine if you said, hey, I'm going to fucking eat like an actual fucking athlete does. But listen, this is bullshit.
No way. First off, there's no way that's reality. Maybe on his cheat days. There's no way though. Yeah. You can't get your nutrients and look like him. He looks like a fucking Greek god, bro.
I know. Yeah. Well, everyone's like, oh, genetics
incredible.
And fucking juice and blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
I mean, maybe juice.
It doesn't matter. You juice up.
Juice.
You ain't growing.
You still
gotta
eat right.
Yeah. So, I think it's horseshit. But it does show the sadness of it. It does show the absolute moronic fucking stupidity of our country that people fall for this bullshit. And there's literally like 40 fucking articles about it on the internet. I'm like, oh my God.
Really, real quick, getting away from the calling everybody stupid here. You think DK is going to stay in Seattle?
You bring up a good point. DK Metcalf. So they just shipped out Russ, which we'll get into in a little while. They shipped out Russell Wilson, who's probably one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. Tyler Lockett there. You got, who's going to throw them the ball? Is it Drew Lock? Is it going to be maybe Baker Mayfield? Is it going to be a guy in a dream?
Rebuild.
I would say that if they keep DK Metcalf, when the odds are that they could get at least one first-round pick for him right now, being that he was a second-round pick, I would trade him in a fucking heartbeat if I was Seattle. And is it going to be your New York Jets? Is it going to be your New York Jets?
Reportedly, my New York Jets have already offered the 10th overall pick.
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Seattle said no way. Now, Seattle said no way to everyone so far. My theory is Seattle's playing games because...
You're playing games?
2 things. 1, Seattle's about to go into rebuild. 2, DK is kind of a jerk off. And I don't even know if I want him because he's such a jerk off. He was literally talking shit to Russ last year and all kinds of stuff. He was kind of like making a scene on the sideline every fucking game at the end of the season because they weren't doing well. He's a fucking jerk off to a degree. But he is a stud. He is a great player. And I personally think Seattle's playing this game where they're letting everyone get signed and cutting off the options. So the people who are still left in the mix, who I've heard is my New York Jets, the Green Bay Packers.
Yep, which would be a great fit.
Which would be great as well. I don't know if anyone else is in that mix, but I've heard those 2 teams specifically. And I've heard Seattle said no, but I think they're waiting for everyone else to get signed, all the other big wide receivers, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and it get to a certain point to where we have, and the Packers have no other options, and we say, you know what, we'll give you 2 firsts. And that's what I think they're hoping for, 2 first-round picks. It ain't going to fucking happen. No. Green Bay's stingy, and Joe Douglas is stingy. They ain't giving you fucking more than what they offer.
No.
They ain't. And I don't even think Green Bay's going to give you a first-rounder for it.
There's one team I think that's a sneaker. A little sneaker, fucking little sneaky. They need to fill the shoes of one Julio Jones.
No pun intended. The sneaker.
The sneaker, right? He is DK Metcalf. He is the next coming of of a Julio Jones type of player. I think the
But it doesn't
Atlanta
make
Falcons.
sense. They don't have a quarterback.
I think the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think they're taking a guy.
They don't have a quarterback. DK's got to get paid $25 to $28 million.
We'll get into who they have a quarterback in a little bit, but they have the 8th pick. I think that they could package that with something else, and just like your Jets would at number 10, I think Atlanta could go get him. But we'll see. I would be shocked if he is a Seattle Seahawk by the first snap of the
Me too. I don't think it happens.
Okay?
I think he's gone.
But yeah, let's just say let's put this candy and fucking coffee and one meal to bed.
If that was the case with all the amount of Reese's and shit that I've been eating and fucking chocolate, I'd be pro ready tomorrow.
Oh shit. Scotty G, fucking 4% body fat. Now, we're going to get to a little fucking topic here, a little segment, if you will. We call it WTF. And the Cincinnati Bengals had the NFL saying WTF all last year because they went worst to first. WTF, baby. So, Scotty, you want me to lead off on my team that I believe in 2022 is going worst to first?
Let's hear who you got.
All right. Well, as we all know, I took my boy Joey B and the Cincinnati Bengals to go worst to first and win that division and, make some noise. And look at them. I went to the fucking Super Bowl. Look at you now, right? Now, who's going to be next year's Cincinnati Bengals, Rocco B says? Well, Duval. We're going down to Jacksonville. The Jacksonville Jaguars. They were 3-14 last year. They fired fucking Urban Liar. Had an awful year last year. The whole team, just what a fucking shit show. The Jaguars were down in South Florida. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson, coming from the Philadelphia Eagles. He is the opposite of Terrell Owens, the team obliterator. He's the Joey B of coaches. He's the team culture changer. He is going to change that culture in Jacksonville.
Look at you sucking off the NFC East coaches. Go ahead.
And he is going to turn around Jacksonville like nobody's ever seen. Nobody's business.
He's also going to help fuck up the whole wide receiver market, but I'm sure you'll get into that.
He brings over Press Taylor from the Eagles. He's going to be offensive coordinator. Mike Caldwell from the Buccaneers is going to be defense coordinator. They still got Bob Sutton on the defensive staff, who coached Kansas City for a long time. They brought in a boatload of free agents, and yes, did they overpay for one of them? Yes, they did. But here's what they brought.
Slightly overpaid him, huh?
They brought Christian Kirk in for, I think, $100 million a year. But I'll tell you what, when that kid can play in Arizona, he can play. It was tough for him to be number one when you got DeAndre Hopkins. Now he's got a chance.
I saw the contract deal. I would have thought he was signing fucking Jerry Rice. So what they paid this fucking guy.
No, listen, it's Jacksonville. That's the fucking GM. That's the Trent Baalke, and that's their their front office. They make some crazy deals. But they got Christian Kirk. He was a fucking stud at Texas A&M. Stud. Then they brought in Zay Jones as a receiver. So now you kind of got him to package with Marvin Jones. And they still got Laviska Shenault, so they got a nice receiving core. They can still grab one in the draft. Then you got Evan Ingram at tight end. The guy did not pan out with the Giants because they had no fucking quarterback. Evan Ingram.
Well, he also didn't pan out because he couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah,
if he can stay healthy, I think he's a stud.
When he's healthy, he's a stud. So you got him at tight end. Then they tagged offensive tackle Cam Robinson. They brought in another NFC East guy and Brandon Scherf on the line, which is he's one of the top guards in the league. Then on defense, your boy Foley Farakas from fucking the Jets went over to Jacksonville.
He's a stud, actually. He's good.
And Arden Key, a guy you know from San Fran, goes over there as well. Foye Oluokun, when you watched Atlanta Falcon games, this guy always made plays. He's a linebacker from Atlanta, comes over to Jacksonville, gets big money. That guy made play after play after play. And then the guy who was making plays in the Super Bowl for the LA Rams, cornerback Darius Williams, is now in Jacksonville. They have now a beautiful load, if you will, of free agents that come on in. Everyone forgets that they're going to get Travis Etienne back after a fucking injury-ravaged rookie season. We never even saw him take a snap.
Who are you talking about? I'm just kidding. I know.
Exactly.
I'm just saying,
right? Everyone's
people
forgetting.
are saying, who the fuck is this guy?
Everyone's forgetting.
Probably the number one running back in last year's rookie class.
Yep. So then
that never played.
They got 12 picks in the fucking draft, and they got 4 picks in this top 70 picks, and they have the number one overall. Now, Did they lose a couple guys? Yeah, they lost Miles Jack. He goes to the Steelers. They lost guard Andrew Norwell to Washington, but he sucks. I would trade Scherf for him any day of the week. And DJ Chark, a receiver who shows flashes.
He's solid though.
He goes to Detroit.
Oh, that's a good pickup for Detroit.
So they lose those guys. Now they need, in my opinion, they need more offensive line help. Cam Robinson is tagged again for the second time. They need an offensive tackle that's going to be there for 10 years. They need a 3-4 edge guy. They play 3-4, okay? Everyone's talking about this one guy, which we'll get into in a second, but I don't think he's a good fit. And they also need a receiver, I think. I think they need a big, long receiver to go with all these speedy, shorter guys. Now, what I would do is I would trade out Scotty Boy. I'd trade out from that number 1 pick, and I would stockpile more picks to protect Trevor Lawrence because he's going to be a fucking stud. If you can surround him with pieces, and he's got the best coach for that, I believe in Doug Peterson. If Doug Peterson can get a Super Bowl out of Nick Foles and can get an MVP season out of fucking Carson Wentz, he's going to make Trevor Lawrence into a fucking stud. They had the 8th worst Pro Football Focus offensive line last year. They fixed it in the free agency. Now they're going to fix it in the draft. And I would not, hear me loud and clear, and we will get into this more, of course, the next couple episodes. Do not draft Aiden Hutchinson number 1. Do not do it.
They're going to.
Do not
They're
do
going
it.
to. Why,
okay?
Wait. I want to ask you why, but I know you want to wait till the next episode.
Listen, I will just give you a little chunk. He does not play edge 3-4. He's a 4-3 end at Michigan. He's in between. He's not going to be your 3-4 end, and he's not going to be, in my opinion, a 3-4 linebacker. Do not take Hutchinson if you're Jacksonville. Please don't.
I think they're going to, but okay.
But, all right, now that's the Jaguars. And, again, we will get into them over the next couple episodes on really why, truly, I believe they are going to be the next Bengals, if you couldn't believe it already from what I just said. But, Scotty, I am fucking chomping at the bit. I'm sitting at the edge of my seat. What is going to be your team? And please, God, don't say it's a green and white team that's in the AFC East.
Okay. So I'm going to say this out front first. Dr. Tomas thinks it's the New York Jets, and I'm not going that route because I'm not going to play the homer route. I'm going to give you a team that I think, and to me, it's an obvious. To me, it's like I almost didn't even want to pick them because it doesn't seem right. But then I looked, and I'm really like, you know what? This team hasn't had a winning season since 2016 when they had 9 wins. They haven't had double-digit wins since 2015.
A little bit.
The team I'm picking to go from worst to first is the Denver Broncos in the AFC West.
Okay.
So real quick, let me run through a couple things with you.
The AFC best.
The AFC West, which is going to be a fucking gauntlet, whoever doesn't know.
Yep.
Just so you know, real quick, let me run through some things. They lost Von Miller, who was a big loss, but they lost him last year, and, he won a Super Bowl, but since then they've signed Randy Gregory, a guy you might know, you might have heard of.
Fuck him.
He's going to be immediate impact and help that defense. They also lost Noah Fant in the Russell Wilson trade, which we're going to get into. But they also brought in Eric Tomlinson. This is an under-the-radar move. He's an ex-Jet, so I know a little bit more about him than most. So people might say, oh, fuck this guy. But here's the thing. He was the unsung hero for us. He's a great run blocker. Now, listen to me. Catching the ball, he's got 2 left feet for hands. Don't get me wrong. He couldn't catch a fucking gold in Alaska, this motherfucker. But here's the deal. He's ranked 2nd in rush blocking among all tight ends. That's going to be a massive help. They also picked up Tom Compton, an offensive lineman. He's another ex-Jet. To me, he's a depth guy, but he's also another run blocker. He was ranked 2nd at tackle for run blocking with Javonte Williams last year breaking out as a rookie, and he's going to be even better this year. That's going to make him way better. They picked up Quan Williams from the 49ers. To me, he was an under-the-radar star for that team. He was a slot corner. That secondary wasn't great, but to my opinion, he was like the best corner they had. So I think that's a great pickup. They picked up Billy Turner, for those who don't know. He can play either tackle. He was the starting right tackle for the Packers last year. He ranked middle of the pack for pass blocking, but he's going to be a huge upgrade for what they had because, they had like an okay offensive line for Denver, and that's the only thing that bothers me. But he's going with Nathaniel Hackett, Green Bay coach. He knows the offense. They re-signed Kareem Jackson. And then the biggest thing, and this is also a little nod out to a guy I love and know. His name's Craig Leday, who calls Mr. Russell Wilson old and fat, as he likes to say.
I don't know what fucking game he's watching.
Yeah, he hates Russell Wilson. I was trying to tell him the Giants were going to get him, and he was not happy about it. I just want to say this. For those who don't know, the Denver Broncos traded Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, 2 first rounds, 2 second rounds, a 5th round, all to Seattle to get Russell Wilson. With that being said, Denver ranked 5 in interceptions thrown per game. They ranked 3 in fumbles per game, 23 in scoring per game. Do we not think right off the top that Russ is going to improve on that? They averaged 211 yards per game. That's 19th. Russ, if you take away his first 2 seasons, he averaged 242 yards a game. That includes last year when he was fucking terrible, and I think he was fucking hurt.
Yep.
I mean, they're 9th in yards allowed. Seattle was 28th. You go look at defense. They're 8th in amount of plays allowed. Seattle was 32nd. Like 4th in amount of first downs allowed. Seattle was 31. Only team worse was my fucking New York Jets. They're 3rd in TDs allowed. Seattle's 11. Point being, Seattle shipped off, in my opinion, and I think your opinion, a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. The Denver Broncos already had a solid offense, minus maybe the offensive line. They added Russ Wilson, who's going to be much better than anything they had. And Russ is going to a team that has a defense that's light years better than anything he dealt with in the past 3-4 years in Seattle. Seattle's been terrible on defense the last few years. So Russ is getting a much improved defense, so he doesn't have to score as much. He's getting a better offense. I mean, yeah, you're losing DK, you're losing Tyler Lockett, but I mean, you still got Jerry Jeudy, you got Tim Patrick, you got
KJ Hamler. Yeah, and you're forgetting Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing this team needs, which they still have, a 2nd round pick, they have a 3rd round pick. I mean, they don't have a 1st round pick, which I get, but they still have a 2nd round pick. They can still get talent. They got to get a tight end, offensive line, and maybe another corner. But, I mean, Surtain was a stud last year.
Yeah.
He's only going to get better.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got a tight end. I like that kid, Albert Alquabanum. You know, they call him Albert O, but I think he's going to be better with Wilson, of course. But I'm with you, man. I'm just here's what I would say. Here's my clap back to that. I mean, the only thing I could say is that in the division, you have 3 other top 10 quarterbacks in the league. You have
I
Herbert,
get that.
You have Carr, you have Mahomes. Now, you know how I feel about the Chiefs, but you also know how I feel about the Raiders and the fucking Chargers. And I really believe that the best thing that Denver's got going for them, besides the fact that they, in my opinion, I know it's fucking crazy to a lot of people, Denver now has the best quarterback in the division. I'm sorry. I think he's better than Mahomes. He is better than Carr, and he is better than Herbert. Now, the best thing that they got going for them is they have that Denver home field advantage. And it's tough to play in Denver. He's been playing in Seattle, so he's used to that shit. But Denver's a mile high. Every time everyone comes to that stadium, it's tough to win. And if Russ can get them to the playoffs with home games, I do like Denver over some of those other teams. I do.
Real quick, my response to you on that is Russ had a bad year last year. We all admit
He
Russ
had
had
a
a bad
terrible
year
year last year, yeah.
Yeah, he went 25 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
Yeah.
As a fucking Jet fan, that would be the best quarterback we ever fucking had.
I love how we always get to, like, whether it's Dak, whether it's Russ, whether it's fucking, could be Marcus Mariota. Oh, my God, he'd be the best Jets quarterback ever.
But this time out. He had 40 touchdowns and 13 interceptions the year before.
Yeah.
He's only thrown double-digit interceptions 4 times in his career in 10 years.
Yeah.
Like,
No, he's
this
a
guy's,
stud.
he's also been sacked.
Yeah.
He's ranked 14 of all time of how many times he's been sacked all time.
Yeah.
He's only played 10 years in the league.
Yeah, the problem with Seattle the past couple of years has been their defense is not the Legion of Boom anymore, and their offensive
line is terrible.
Is bottom 5 in the league.
And
Now,
then real quick, before you go on, I get it. He's in a fucking gauntlet division. But do we think the NFC West was an easy cakewalk with the Rams, the Niners, and the Cardinals?
Oh, absolutely.
But for him, it's fucking the same shit.
Of course, but I'm just saying, you're going to take Herbert, you're going to take Carr, and you're going to take Mahomes. I would take those motherfuckers over Kyler Murray and Jimmy Garoppolo and fucking Matthew Stafford or Jared Goff for all those years. than those three. So
I get it.
He's going into the gauntlet, but like I said, they got the home field. They have to surround him with a better run game, especially, and I believe they have it with Javonte. I don't think they'll hold on to Melvin Gordon anymore, but they're probably going to get younger in that position.
No, Melvin Gordon's gone. I don't think they're going to. I mean, I don't know if he's going to get signed somewhere else, but they're not going to re-sign him.
No, they're not going to re-sign him. And I, now a couple guys on defense we'll talk about in free agency, as far as Kyle Fuller and Bryce Callahan are free agents on that in that defensive secondary. But and fuck Randy Gregory, that piece of shit. I'm happy to see him go.
He's a stud though, man.
Yeah, but like you said, he's going to be a welcome addition. Well, he's probably going to be a welcome addition in the fucking Denver fucking prison too, but at some point. But you're right. I mean, the fact that he goes to that AFC best is what I'm going to call it, and it's a gauntlet. But I'm with you. I mean, that's a good shot. They were the worst in that division last year. It's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, that was WTF. Scotty Boy picks Denver to go up on the AFC West, and Rocco B takes the Jacksonville Jaguars to go up on the AFC South from worst to first. Beautiful, baby. Now we're talking about free agency. We're talking about how these teams are getting better. Let's get into all these fucking names that have moved on in the past couple months to other teams, whether it's a trade, free agency, whatever. And how the fuck, Scotty Boy, can we not start this list with the guy that we talked about all year last year? Finally, Mr. Masseuse is on a fucking squad. Who knows? He may be suspended for the whole year. He may be fucking at the Golden Fingers parlor right now. We have no idea. But he is a Cleveland Brown, ladies and gentlemen. Cleveland Browns.
I agree. He might probably going to get a 6 to 8 game suspension. I assume that. But can these motherfucking people, podcasts, whatever you're doing, your opinion, it's bullshit. Whenever you say you don't think Deshaun Watson's gonna be good, this guy was the shit.
There's people saying he's not gonna be good
in Houston. Everyone's saying that the Cleveland Browns fucked up. They took this guy. They shouldn't have taken this guy. Everyone's saying that
it's cancel culture, Scotty. Cancel culture. Hey, he's
everyone's
terrible.
Everyone's saying that first off they shouldn't have supported him because it's not all settled. And then everyone's saying also that he hasn't played in a year and he's probably not going to be very good. And it's probably, dude. Are you fucking out of your mind?
He's the fourth best quarterback on the fucking worst team in the league.
Dude, he might be the best quarterback in the league, and we just don't even know it yet. He's never had anything. He's never had an offensive line. He's never had a wide receiver. He's never had a running back.
Game. I mean, just imagine him and Chubby.
He's never
and
had
fucking
a defense.
Hunt. Hello,
dude. I'm telling you,
it's going to be amazing.
It might be a little bit of a slow start if he gets suspended 8 games.
Well, he's got to get off the table.
I'm telling you. Anyone who doesn't think this was a good idea for the fucking Browns, who have yet to have a fucking franchise quarterback in their fucking history.
Yep.
I mean, if I was the fucking Browns, I would sell my soul to get a guy like Deshaun Watson. Are you kidding me?
If he was a Jet, he'd be the best quarterback of all time.
Rock, you probably be the best quarterback of all time with the fucking Jets. Are you kidding me?
I know. Well, thank you. I've been waiting 20 years for you to fucking say that to me. I would say this. I would say that we've been talking about that since last year, that was a dream scenario. Fucking dream scenario for him to be a Cleveland Brown.
Yeah, it's unreal. Are you kidding me?
And the fact that he's there now with that offensive line, with fucking Chubby, with Hunt, the fact
they're talking about re-signing Landry and Odell too. They're not even talking about just leaving with Amari Cooper. They're talking about re-signing Landry, and Odell is saying, I'm willing to go back to Cleveland with this quarterback. Basically, Odell is putting fucking Baker Mayfield on notice and basically saying, I didn't want to play with Baker.
Yeah, and that's a shame. But I mean, I think it's the truth. I think Baker did not fit there. Even though he won 7 games as a rookie with that fucking team, when he was a rookie. But still, I mean, he just didn't fit. And sometimes you just got to move on. And Baker and the Browns had to move on. And Mr. Masseuse was a perfect fit to me. I think he's got the way that he lays, down on his belly on the table, and then sometimes he flips. Oh wait, sorry, we're not. I thought we were talking about football. I'm going to tell you what. The fact that Watson is there and he's coming from Houston in that fucking shitty ass scenario where Bill O'Brien basically gave away the whole team in his last year there, he is going to make Cleveland into a legit contender that Baker could have never done, right? So I'm excited to see that.
The only 2 teams I think would have been also good for him is Carolina and Miami. And Carolina, I think, is worse than Cleveland. Miami might be better than Cleveland.
Yeah, no, I would have preferred him to go to Miami, but I'm shocked that he didn't want to go to Carolina. Basically, back to where his roots were in college and all that. And then Atlanta was another big one. He's an Atlanta kid, but the Falcons figured, hey,
Atlanta's kind of a mess, though. Same with New Orleans. New Orleans was in the mix. They're kind of a mess.
But there's no fucking way that he'd be in Atlanta tomorrow, Scotty, if Atlanta guaranteed him $250. Cleveland guaranteed him $250 million. There's no other team that was going to do that. Watson's in Cleveland. Good luck with Amari Cooper. But we just went over the whole Russell Wilson and Drew Lock scenario with Seattle and Denver. They got traded for each other. And now let's go over to the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts had Carson Wentz. What a fucking dumpster fire he was the last couple games of the season. Legitimately just fucking took them out of the playoffs. And Jim Irsay, the owner, is like, fuck you, Wentz. Worst mistake I ever made. You're gone. And they got him shipped off to Washington with – Scotty, we didn't even get into this, and maybe we'll save this for the next episode. The fucking Washington Commanders?
Commanders?
Oh, my God. The Commanders? Terrible. Are you fucking kidding me? Holy shit.
The Washington football team better.
God, isn't that amazing? Yeah, I mean, I would have said WFT as well. Here's the thing. They get rid of Wentz, and they send him to Washington, but unbelievably, Indy, after saying, hey, we got to get younger. I want a guy here for the next 10 years. This quarterback, we need a franchise guy. They go and trade for 86-year-old Matt Ryan, who's owed like $48 million.
Hey.
And they went
show some respect. I like Matt Ryan.
So do I but he's going to be there for a year. He's another stopgap guy. I don't get it. He can still play. I think Matt Ryan is a very underrated quarterback if he's got the pieces around him. But the guy is like from the ancient era of quarterbacking. He doesn't move. He's too old, and he's one-dimensional. And I don't
reminds me of some guy that's playing in Tampa Bay. I
give me a break. No, that guy that gets better with age. I think Ryan is he's the guy that's right. I think that lost in the Super Bowl 52 against New England. Yeah, so Matt Ryan goes to now Indy, unbelievably. I think that offensive line and that running game makes that a juicy fucking matchup for the AFC South.
Yeah, I think he makes them way better. I would have loved Matt Ryan to go to San Fran if they could have made that happen.
Carson Wentz is that bad. So I don't, it's in the land of the blind, fucking one-eyed man is king. But now to Atlanta, okay, you think, all right, they didn't draft Justin Fields last year. They're waiting. They're going to wait out this Matt Ryan contract for the next 2 years and then just start fresh. Well, they bail on Matt Ryan a year into this 2-year deal. And then they said, you know what we're going to do? We got the 8th pick in the draft. It's a very quarterback-light fucking draft this year. You know what our options are, Atlanta fans? Yeah. You know what we're going to do? My name's Arthur Smith. I'm the coach who coached the offensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to bring in a guy I know and that everybody knows well, and he's going to fix our problems. Marcus fucking Mariota. Are you kidding me? Atlanta, I feel bad for you guys. You blew it against New England.
How is this guy still in the league?
I know.
Is what I want to know.
You blew it in New England, and now you bring in a guy like Mariota after you got rid of the only good piece left that you had was Matt Ryan. Man, what a shit show that is down in Atlanta.
I agree with you. I mean, I just think that the Matt Ryan deal is a great deal, and like something that I haven't brought up yet, but I'm going to bring up real quick is I've never seen a team. I'm a big fan of the San Francisco 49ers. I've never seen a team like the San Francisco 49ers that have had such a dominant team. All they needed was the right quarterback and maybe one or two pieces. And I'm a big Jimmy G fan, but like he clearly was not the perfect piece to get them over the hump. And I've never seen a team fuck up a situation so badly by going after a guy like Trey Lance. Because that's a team right there that if they got a guy like Matt Ryan and had all those draft picks that they give up for Trey Lance and put more pieces around him, that's a team like right there. They're in the window for fucking a Super Bowl.
Scotty.
And now with Trey Lance, I don't fucking know what this team's going to do.
You don't know shit. Kyle Shanahan is the god of all gods. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly who he wants. He knows exactly who's going to be a future Hall of Famer. You don't doubt Kyle Shanahan 1 second, Scotty boy. Please. Don't doubt that asshole. Don't doubt that jerk off.
I don't. Yeah.
He went so far and above.
He's almost as good of a GM as fucking LeBron James.
Oh, my God. Yes, exactly. And how'd that go for your Lakers? I'm going to tell you right now, he went so far and above for a guy from a D1 AA school who played 13 fucking games. I just don't believe that they made that deal for Trey Lance, for a guy that needed to take a year off. They said, no, we need Jimmy G because Lance ain't ready. How the fuck then do you invest all of that draft capital in a guy nowadays, especially in NFL, that you had to sit for a year? And I'm going to tell you what, from what I saw last year, I don't think he's going to be ready for week 1. I really don't. I really think if Jimmy G, and we'll get into that in a second, but if Jimmy G is not a fit for these other 2 teams that I think that need him, they're going to hold on to Jimmy G again because they know that they don't want to look so fucking stupid.
They can't hold on to Jimmy G, and you know why? Because
well, I'm saying until like training camp or something, until somebody gets hurt.
No. Anyone who's paying attention realizes that my boy Deebo Samuel has cut ties with the San Francisco 49ers. Scrubbing all his social media of the 49ers. He's left one picture of him in the 49ers.
It's very mature.
And for those who don't know, it's him getting accepted as the first team All-Pro as a 49ers uniform. Oh. So he's making a statement saying that, look, who I am, this is what I do. Yeah. And look, there's a guy, I don't know if you heard of him. We call him Bobby Saleh in
Bobby Saleh
in the Bronx. Bobby Saleh from the Bronx.
Send
Bobby
back.
Saleh from Bobby Saleh from the Bronx would love you to send Deebo back to New York.
Send him back.
We'll ship you a second-round pick for him. No big deal.
Second-round
I don't know about a first-round pick, but a second or third-round pick we'll definitely give you. And, I would love Deebo to be a part of the New York Jets, but who knows? He's looking to get paid, but they can't pay him. For those who don't know, the San Francisco 49ers ain't got no money. They're fucking broke.
Yeah, they're cap strapped.
No money. But if they cut good old porn star Jimmy
G,
they get $24 million back on the books.
Yeah.
Dude, listen to me. They're going to cut Jimmy. They're going to end up going from taking a trade for Jimmy to cutting Jimmy.
Unbelievable.
Just to pay Deebo. Because Deebo, they can't let him walk out the door. So he's the whole fucking team.
Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have fucked this whole thing up. They knew from the start that Lance was going to be their guy. So why try and get Jimmy G hurt? So then you can't trade him. Or when everybody knows that Jimmy G was then on the seat for one more year as the fucking lame duck quarterback for San Fran, that come this offseason, why the fuck would any team in their right mind trade for this guy, knowing that San Fran don't want him? It's so stupid to me. They've completely and royally fucked this up.
Fucked this whole thing up.
Unbelievable. So, San Fran's fucked. Now, speaking of another team who's right now, in my opinion, fucked, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, you get rid of Big Ben, finally he sits down. You say, okay, you sit down. Now, you got to revamp the offense. You know that. You just drafted a fucking stud in Najee Harris. You got a couple studs on the outside with Johnson and Claypool, right? And then Freiermuth, what a steal last year in the second round. Your offensive line is playing better. What are you going to do at quarterback? What are you going to do? I know what I'm going to do. Let's go get Stud Muffin Mitchell Trubisky? Oh, God, what are you doing, Pittsburgh? Oh, he still got some juice left in the tank. He still got something left in the basement. Yeah, he learned so much behind Josh Allen in Buffalo that he knows now how to play quarterback. Huh? What? Again, as just like I told you about Atlanta and their fans. If I'm a Steelers fan, I had to watch Big Ben just, basically be turning into, Biden basically before our eyes, where he can't even see. You're going to tell me that he now sits down and you're going to now invest your season into Mitchell Trubisky? I don't give a shit whether you go draft Malik Willis. I don't give a shit whether you go draft Kenny Pickett. Mitch Trubisky is what I'm supposed to get excited about with this young Steelers defense and this young Steelers offense? Ugh.
What if they get Malik Willis and they have Mitch Trubisky? Why is that so
Malik
crazy?
Willis is not – he's a year off. He's a year off minimum.
So you start Trubisky and then
you don't make the playoffs.
Trubisky made the playoffs with the Bears.
The
Bears, the last time they made the playoffs was with Trubisky.
Yeah, and would you be scared of Mitch Trubisky in the playoffs? I mean,
no, I wouldn't be scared, but you can still make the playoffs with Mitch Trubisky.
But
if
again,
you have a good team.
Doldrums, man. You don't want to be in the middle. You either want to be really fucking great or you want to be really terrible. And that's where Pittsburgh is now. They're drafting 20th. They weren't terrible, but they weren't great. They were right in the fucking middle. And you're wasting seasons, man. You're wasting TJ Watt. You're wasting fucking Minka Fitzpatrick. You're wasting all these dudes. And they went and got Trubisky. Like, Pittsburgh is one of those teams that they could have gotten anybody. They could have got Russ. They could have got Watson. They could have got anybody they fucking wanted. And they got Trubisky, and they're going to draft either Willis or Pickett. Give me a fucking break. What are they doing? So I don't like that move. And you still got, like we said, Baker left. Could Baker be a Pittsburgh Steeler? Cleveland ain't going to let it happen, but Cleveland is probably going to be just like
I think
San
Baker
Fran. They got to cut
Mayfield-
him, right?
I think Baker Mayfield's a Seattle Seahawk by the end of the
So do I.
By the beginning of training camp.
So do I. I'll give you one more team when we talk about it in a minute. But, is he a Seahawk? Maybe. Is he a Steeler? Maybe. Yeah, okay. But he might be this other team as well. And what does San Fran do with Jimmy Garoppolo? We'll get into that in a second. Now, let's get off the quarterbacks for a minute. I've never seen it, and I don't think we ever will see the offseason of all pro level wide receivers changing teams. I couldn't believe that these 4 guys are now on different teams and their teams didn't want to keep. Davante Adams, we talked about it earlier. He says, hey, Aaron Rodgers and cold-ass Green Bay, fuck you. My California ass is going to Las Vegas and playing with my boy Derek Carr.
Which real quick, I just want to add that the Las Vegas Raiders have added Davante Adams. They've added Chandler Jones. They've got some other pieces. They have a fucking stellar team. They're probably still going to finish 3rd or 4th in that division. That's how crazy that fucking division is. I'm just saying, just to put it out there, this division's so fucking good. Yep. That team with those studs is still probably going to finish 3rd or 4th. But continue.
Yeah, I like him to finish 2nd. We'll get into that a little later. Now, after Adams now, you're like, blows your mind. Holy shit, the best receiver in the game has now been traded. Arguably, the 2nd best receiver in the league has been traded. Tyreek Hill goes from the Chiefs to the Dolphins.
Don't get me started.
Unbelievable, Scotty. You got to see this guy twice a year.
For those who don't know, the Jets had a deal in place. Joe Douglas had a deal in place with the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid. In case you don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, we all know now.
Just so you know, the deal didn't include any of our first-round picks. It was our 2 second-round picks, I think a 3rd or 4th round pick, and like a 6th round pick for Tyreek Hill. Like, look, he's another guy I think's a jerk-off.
Yep.
But I agree, he would be a difference maker. So I'm not going to be upset if we get him. But to get Tyreek Hill and still have your 2 first-round picks is incredible. And instead of having that happen, the Miami Dolphins threw themselves into the mix and threw a first-round pick in there. Then it was, from what I've heard, the only thing that was better was the first-rounder compared to multiple 2s and blah, blah, blah. To where Kansas City said, you know what? These are both pretty good deals. And then they asked Tyreek Hill, where would you rather go? And this jerk-off said,
what did he say?
Oh, Miami. That's where I'm from. I'd rather go Miami. So this piece of shit said I was never going to the Jets.
Yeah.
No way, no how.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he goes to fucking Miami. So we go from having Tyreek Hill and keeping our 2 first-round picks to seeing this motherfucker twice a year. You figure that shit out and then come back to me and tell me how you feel about being whatever fan you are and tell me how it feels to be a fucking Jet fan.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Well, I love your enthusiasm, and I'm not going to ask you to curb it. But I will tell you that, and I think you echo the same sentiment, I don't think you want that guy. I really don't. I really do believe.
I really do believe he's the guy that's going to get paid and not be what he was.
And I will shout out Rich Eisen because I do like listening to him, and I do believe he is very bright. Rich Eisen, as a huge Jets fan, as he is as well, he didn't want him either because he gave an interesting take, which I completely agree with. Not only do you not want him because he's a jerk off and because, it's going to cost you all this shit to go get him and you want to be young and, Bobby Saleh from the Bronx is a young guy and he wants to be, he doesn't want to be bringing in these fucking polarizing figures. But here's the thing. The New York Jets aren't ready for Tyreek Hill. The New York Jets are not ready to win the way that Tyreek Hill wants to win and knows how to win. It's still going to take another year or 2 before they know how to win. And he's not, you think that fucking Tyreek Hill is a fucking growing pains type of guy? Hell no. Tyreek Hill Had to go somewhere where they're plug and play. Now, is he going to love Tua? No, but he'll love Lamar Jackson in 2023. We'll get into that later, ladies and gentlemen. But Tyreek Hill was not the guy for the Jets, and the Jets sure as hell weren't ready for Tyreek Hill. So, again, you shouldn't be shocked as a Jets fan. But, again, at this point, I like what you're doing. I like how the Jets are building, and he shouldn't have been part of it. So, but he goes to Miami, and you got to see his ass twice a year. So they better go get Sauce Gardner from the draft. Now, another all-pro, quote-unquote, receiver that was traded was Amari Cooper from the Dallas Cowboys to the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland, good luck, because when you guys play your 8 or sometimes 9 games on the road, he doesn't come with you on the plane. So good luck, Cleveland. You'll love him at home, but when you guys wear the white jerseys on the road, good luck. He doesn't show up. Another all-pro, and the Cowboys only got a 5th-round pick. That's how much they hated this fucker. They got rid of him for a 5th-round pick. Nothing. Now, Cleveland had to take
That's terrible. Didn't they give up 2 firsts for him?
They gave up a 1st-round pick for him. They gave up 1 to the Raiders. But you ship him off for a 5th-round pick, and Cleveland takes his dough, and you're happy? I mean, that tells you a lot about this guy. And another all-pro receiver that left in free agency is Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson leaves the Chicago Bears, where he's had awful quarterback play the whole time he's been there. He goes to the L.A. Rams. I don't know how they're doing it, bringing in all these free agents, but they bring him in, and now he gets to be paired with Matthew Stafford. Allen Robinson's going to have a fucking resurgence of his career next year. You watch.
Real quick, too. 2 names that I think have gone kind of under the radar, and I want to mention them. One is Robert Woods, who went to Tennessee.
I think that's a great move.
That's a huge move. And then the other, and when I say this, I almost guarantee you're not even going to remember it until I say it.
They call him Bobby Trees, by the way.
I know, Bobby Trees. But the other name I'm going to say that I feel like a lot of people don't even realize, because everyone was so upset about this Tyreek Hill thing. Juju Smith-Schuster, who was a stud when Ben Roethlisberger had a fucking arm. I know he loves the TikTok, and I know he loves all the bullshit, but when he's playing, you got to admit he's a stud. Do you know where he went?
Yeah, he's a slot stud. I think he went to a good sitch in Kansas City.
So if they get just a fucking burner on the outside, Kelsey and Juju on the inside. So I don't think it's as bad of a situation as people were making it out to be. But if they go get a burner, they're not going to miss a beat. And maybe you get it in the draft.
Yeah, I think they got to get the fucking guy that can go down the field that's going to be there for 17 games in the draft. I don't think Valdez-Scantling is going to be there all the 17 games we showed in the Green Bay.
No way.
That he's injury prone. But, they do have Juju. They do have Kelsey. They do need to, they got Hardman, but he's not going to be ready to go. I think they lost a huge piece in Tyreek, but at the same time, they follow the Green Bay Packers type of mold where they don't pay anybody. So you bring in Juju, you take out Tyreek. I think it's going to end up hurting Mahomes because I just don't think he's as good as they think he is. So now here's the thing. Like you said, the AFC West is going to be the AFC best. Every week when you play in that division, it's going to be a friggin' gauntlet. So you miss Tyreek Hill. Those teams don't scheme for him. I have this feeling that you don't get rid of Tyreek Hill and then run the same offense. You really just don't. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to revamp their offense, and I think they're going to change it a little bit. And you don't get rid of Tyreek Hill with that offense and just say, we'll just replace him in the draft. I think they're going to run a different offense. I think Andy Reid's finally going to learn that he might have to run the ball a little bit. He might have to throw the ball underneath a little bit more and then go over the top. You don't want to be so one-dimensional like they have been, and it's only got them 1 Super Bowl. So if I had to put my ass out there on the limb, I think they're going to change their offense a little bit.
I can agree with that. I mean, I think they'll definitely do something different, but I think whatever it is, it'll probably fucking work because Andy Reid, what he does know is offense. So I'm not worried about their offense. I'm just worried about them as a team and as a whole, and I'm worried about that division and the gauntlet they got to go through.
Yeah, absolutely. Now let's get to the defensive side of the ball a little bit. I mean, you had these pass rushers come off the board as free agents and with a big trade. Let's get to the trade first. You got Khalil Mack getting traded from the Chicago Bears over to the fucking Los Angeles Chargers into that AFC best division.
Yeah, which is crazy for the Chargers, who also got J.C. Jackson as well.
Yeah, so, I was going to get to J.C. Jackson. You're talking about two big pieces that come on board of the Chargers defense. Go Chargers, go. They're going to be so good on defense. It's going to be amazing. And then if you want to stick in that division, the AFC best, like you mentioned before, Randy Gregory going to Denver. Go fuck himself. But that's going to be a nice pass rush for Denver. And then again, let's stay in that division in the AFC West. With Las Vegas, Chandler Jones comes over to pair up with fucking the stud muffin Max Crosby. That is going to be an unbelievable division to watch all year.
It's going to be a blast to watch, man. It's going to be a battle between those four teams.
And a guy who used to play in that division, Von Miller, who left Denver to go to the Rams, won a Super Bowl. Now he says, let me go get $100 million a year, basically, from the Buffalo Bills. And I'm going to go terrorize Zachy Dub for 2 games a year. I'm going to terrorize Tua for 2 games a year.
He's
and I'm
washed.
Gonna terrorize fucking Mac Jones 2 games a year.
These fucking guys washed. He ain't going to do shit.
Yeah, he is perfect for Buffalo because they're going to need him in the playoffs, and that's what he did with the Rams.
Buffalo needs a quarterback. That's what they need.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you know what you need? You need an autograph from that quarterback. That's what you need. Now, to finish up what we were talking about earlier about Baker Mayfield and Jimmy Garoppolo, the 2 big-name quarterbacks that are still there, still waiting to go. We believe Baker's 2 options of Seattle and Pittsburgh. I believe that there's a third pony in the mix here. And I think one team that if they want to get in on Baker and they want to bring in an insurance policy for the quarterback position, I think the New Orleans Saints would be a perfect fit for Baker Mayfield. I think you put him in a dome half the season. I think you put him with that team, like with a Kamara.
It's an interesting thought.
With an interesting, offensive line, with good pieces all over the place. I like Baker Mayfield to maybe potentially resurrect his career if Jameis Winston can't come back from this knee injury. I think Baker Mayfield in New Orleans
not
would
a bad
be a perfect
thought.
fit.
Real quick, though. Do you think Michael Thomas is staying there, or do you think he's going to be on the move?
I thought he was
That's
gone.
a name I haven't heard shit about.
I thought he was gone last year. And I really believe that maybe they can repair their relationship because maybe the issue was with him and Sean Payton. And now that Sean Payton's gone, I can potentially see him staying. I don't see a team giving him top money because of what happened last year and then the year before when he got hurt. This guy really hasn't played a full season since he set the record for receptions in 2020. To me, I think he stays. I think he stays, and I think he's got to make his money back. He's got to prove that he can still play this game.
We'll see. I don't know, man. I'm kind of like I thought he was leaving. I thought for sure he was leaving, but because I don't hear any traction about him, I kind of got to side with you. I think he's probably staying because I don't hear any shit about him. I originally heard he was on the move last year, and I assumed that would carry into this year, but it's been kind of quiet on the whole Michael Thomas front, so I'm not sure.
If he's healthy and his head's in it, he is a top 5 receiver for sure. Jimmy Garoppolo, they had him going to potentially the New Orleans Saints, and then Jameis Winston re-signed. I know that he's got a hefty salary cap number. I don't think he's going to go to New Orleans, but Jimmy G, to me, I've said it since the get-go, I believe he's a perfect fit with the Houston Texans. Nick Caserio, who's the guy who drafted him essentially in New England, is now the GM of Houston.
I agree with you on that.
I think he's a perfect fit for the Houston Texans.
Yeah,
Davis
I think
Mills
he's
is
a
not the
Houston
guy.
Texan. Yeah, I agree with you.
Now there's another team that, if they decide not to go through, and draft a quarterback at number 6, I think he definitely fits with the Carolina Panthers. But do they want to go down that route again? They did it with Darnold. They did it with Teddy B. Do they want to go down the route of a guy that doesn't have a super high ceiling? He wins games, that's for damn sure. But, he's injury prone and he's not going to be the franchise savior per se. So does Carolina do that? I don't know.
We'll talk about this in the next episode or two, but I am stuck on Carolina on whether they actually want to get a quarterback or not. I'm not sure if Matt Rule is on the hot seat that everyone talks about, but we'll talk about it in future episodes.
We will get into that in episode 39. Our next episode is going to be huge. We're going to talk about the top free agents that we believe that are still left on the board. We're going to tell you where they're going to go. We're going to get into our teams, the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Jets, and we're going to have Dr. Tomas come on the show, and we're going to talk about his Philadelphia Eagles, and he just may have a special guest with him the next time that he comes up on the show to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles.
Big balls.
Big Balls MP. He may be here, and he's an Eagles fan as well. We may be talking about that. And it's NFL draft time, baby. It's time to get into it. We are going to get down and dirty with who we love, who we hate. We're going to make a titillating top 5 of our NFL draft, no doubt, standouts, and a titillating top 5 of our draft. Well, you might as well be an Alabama offensive lineman because you're welcome to Bus City. The Bus City Bus from fucking Rocco B and Scotty G in this next episode 39. So, Scotty, it's great to be back, and I think we did okay.
Yeah. Maybe next episode we'll also break down the NBA playoffs. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about how good LeBron and AD and those Lakers are. Oh, wait a second. My bad. That's right. Only the best player of all time, right? Can't get his team to the playoffs. Okay, all right. So we definitely won't be talking about that. But until then, for my boy Scotty G, this is Rocco B, and we're saying see you later and sayonara.
Adios.